Good morning and welcome to the PMH podcast. My name is Anthony Musa, and on today's podcast, we will be covering lung cancer and its effects. Lung cancer is Australia's biggest killer, and in 2015, statistics showed that lung cancer claimed the lives of 8,466 Australians. That means lung cancer claimed 23 Australian lives each day. Another topic that we'll be covering today are the inequalities that Aboriginal people have when facing lung cancer and how they are uneducated about the symptoms and effects of lung cancer. Aboriginals have a 70% higher chance of death by lung cancer. This is because of the lack of education the ATSI people have on the disease. 2,000 Aboriginals died in 2015, which is very sad considering they only make up 2.3% of the population here in Australia, living mainly in rural areas, which can affect how far help is. For example, if they were to go for a normal doctor's checkup, they may have to drive hours or sometimes even days. So we are joined here today with Nurse Mary that has worked with many lung cancer patients. So thanks for joining us today. We'll be asking you a few questions. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
So what can you tell us about working with lung cancer patients and how does it affect them as an individual and their families?
Well, when a patient is going through lung cancer, you can really see what they are facing and what their family is also going through during these tough times. But it helps to know that we nurses can make a difference when a patient is facing lung cancer.
Would you say that Aboriginal people face inequality when it comes to things such as lung cancer?
Yes, I would say that Aboriginal people face inequality as they do not have the right education that they need to know about lung cancer and its symptoms. And also, most Aboriginal people live in rural areas where a GP is usually hard to access, and Aboriginal people living in rural areas usually have to travel far to get to one of those facilities.
Would you say that smoking is one of the main reasons that lung cancer is Australia's number one killer? And if so, do you think that the government should do more to stop the amount of smokers in Australia?
Yes, I agree that smoking is one of the main reasons affecting lung cancer, and I also agree that the government should be pushing to stop the amount of smokers. But I also agree that they have tried to push the idea that smoking is bad and it leads to many health issues.
Do most of the patients that are facing lung cancer at your hospital know about the dangers of smoking?
A majority of our patients do know about smoking and its effects, but there are also some patients that we treat at our hospital that do not know about the dangers of smoking and what the effects of smoking are.
Thanks for coming and giving us and the audience an insight about patients facing lung cancer and your opinion on smoking.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Man, those are some pretty powerful statements about lung cancer. And here we are. What the fuck are you calling? You want to say it like, man, those are some pretty powerful statements about lung cancer. And we here at PMH Podcast hope that you feel the same way about lung cancer, the inequality of the ATSI community, and the effects of smoking to lung cancer patients.